It was supposed to be an ordinary Tuesday. Nothing special, no storm, no power outage, no technical issues. Just another normal school day. Students chatting in the hallways, teachers preparing lessons, lockers slamming, phones buzzing. The kind of boring, predictable morning nobody ever remembers until something happened. Something so small at first, almost nobody noticed. But within minutes, the entire building fell silent. Because every single clock had stopped at exactly the same second. Jefferson Middle School wasn't famous for anything, just a typical public school in a quiet town. 3 floors, about 600 students. Old walls, old wiring, old clocks, some digital, some analog, some battery-powered, some plugged into the wall. All different models, all independent, which makes what happened that day almost impossible. It started in classroom 214, math class, 8:47 a.m. Mr. Collins was explaining fractions. Half the class wasn't listening. A girl in the front row glanced at the wall clock. 8:47. She remembers because she was counting the minutes until break. Then something strange caught her eye. The second hand stopped moving. Just froze. Tick, tick, tick. Then nothing. She thought the battery died. Normal, it happens. So she looked down at her phone. 8:47. But the seconds weren't moving either. The screen was stuck, like the phone had crashed. She frowned, restarted it, still frozen. 8:47 and 12 seconds. Exactly. Across the hallway. Another teacher checked his smartwatch. Same time, frozen, no updates, no notifications, nothing. Like time itself had paused. Downstairs in the cafeteria, the big digital clock above the vending machines suddenly blinked, then stopped. 8:47, 12. Permanently. Kitchen staff thought the power flickered, but the lights were still on. Fridges still humming, ovens still running, everything normal except the clock. Dead. Within 2 minutes, students everywhere started noticing. Every classroom clock, every hallway clock, every phone, every laptop, every watch, all stuck. Same time, same second. 8:47 to 12. Not 8:47 to 10. Not 8:47 to 15. The exact same second. Like someone had pressed pause on the entire building. At first, it was funny. Kids joked. Time stopped. Maybe school's over. But teachers quickly realized something didn't make sense. Because not all clocks were connected. Some were old battery clocks installed years apart. Some were brand new digital ones. Different brands. Different systems. They shouldn't fail together. That's statistically insane. It's like every calculator in the building suddenly displaying the same random number. Impossible. The principal called maintenance. They checked the fuse box. Everything fine. Checked the wiring. Fine. Internet, working, electricity, perfect. Nothing explained why every timekeeping device had died at the same instant. Even stranger, outside the school, time was normal. Parents' phones worked, cars worked. Nearby stores had no problem. Only the school, like an invisible bubble. Then something else happened, something that made everyone uncomfortable. The security system reset, cameras flickered, then came back online. But when they checked the footage later, there was a gap. Exactly at 8:47:12, 10 full seconds of missing video. Not corrupted, not blurry, just gone. Like those 10 seconds had been erased from existence. Teachers started comparing stories. Some said they felt dizzy around that time. Others reported a brief ringing in their ears. One student said the room felt heavy, like pressure in the air. Another swore the lights dimmed for a split second. But nobody agreed on details. Only one thing was certain. At 8:47:12, something happened. Something real enough to stop every clock, but too fast for anyone to see. The district called technicians, then electricians, then engineers. They replaced batteries, restarted devices. Everything worked again. But when they examined the stopped clocks, they were all still frozen on that time, like they had been permanently stamped, like a photograph. That's when the theories started. Theory 1, power surge. Maybe a sudden spike fried electronics, but battery clocks shouldn't care, and phones have protection systems. Plus, no other equipment was damaged, only timekeeping devices. That's too specific, too precise. Theory 2. Electromagnetic pulse. An EMP could disrupt electronics, but an EMP strong enough to stop everything would also destroy computers, hard drives, servers. Nothing else was affected. Plus, where would it come from? No storms, no lightning, no military testing nearby, nothing. Theory 3. Software glitch. Maybe the school Wi-Fi messed with devices, but again, analog clocks don't use Wi-Fi. They don't even know what Wi-Fi is. So how could they stop at the same second? It makes no sense. And then came the strangest theory, the one nobody wanted to say out loud, but everyone secretly thought, what if, for just a moment, time actually stopped? Not the clocks, not the devices, but time itself. Sounds ridiculous, right? Science fiction, impossible. But think about it. If time paused for everyone, how would you notice? You wouldn't, because you'd be paused too. Everything would freeze, then restart, and you'd never remember the gap, except machines might, electronics might, clocks might, because they measure time mechanically. And maybe, just maybe, they glitched during the restart, like a computer rebooting, and that tiny error left them stuck, forever showing the moment something happened. Scientists obviously rejected that idea. Time doesn't just stop. That's not how physics works. But here's the part that made things even weirder. When researchers checked satellite time records, there was a microsecond anomaly that morning. Tiny, almost nothing, but measurable. A slight irregularity. Exactly at 8:47. Too small to mean anything. Probably coincidence? Probably. But still, the timing was uncomfortable. Months later, students still talk about it. They call it the lost second, because nobody can explain it. Nothing official was ever published. No conclusion, no explanation, just silence. Like the event itself. But here's what really gets people. Every year, on the same date, some teachers say their watches randomly reset for a split second around 8:47 a.m., only for a moment, then normal again. Probably imagination, probably memory playing tricks. But once you've seen every clock in a building freeze at the same time, you start questioning everything. Because if something that simple, something as basic as time, can glitch, even for a second, what else can? And if one day, everything stopped, not just clocks, but you, would you even know? Or would the world just continue with one tiny piece missing? Like those 10 seconds of security footage, gone forever. Like they never existed at all. And maybe somewhere, in some forgotten classroom, there's still an old clock on the wall, stuck at 8:47:12, quietly reminding everyone that something happened that morning, something nobody saw, something nobody understands, and maybe something we're not supposed to.